My name is Joseph Danton. I'm your Director of Agronomy. I'm here with Kevin Pedigo, unofficial mayor of Mira Vista Country Club, 32-year member, 6-time club champion. Mr. Pedigo is going to go over a few golf course etiquette items that we've seen as we've opened back up bunker raking, ball mark repair, and filling divots on the fairways, tees, and approaches.
Hey guys, so this is kind of one of the things that Joseph and I have been talking about in the Golf and Greens Committee meetings. So you're playing golf, you come up to a bunker shot that you accidentally hit it in the bunker, or maybe you hit it in the bunker on purpose, and you get up here and your ball is in somebody's footprint that has not been raked. You can see right behind this where somebody's raked this bunker perfectly, and then you see where somebody did not rake the bunker, and now somebody has gotten a really bad break and they're gonna have a hard time getting this ball out of the bunker. What we wanna do when we're raking these bunkers is, we wanna, number one, make sure that we smooth the footprint over. Then we're gonna use our fork side of the rake to smooth the bunker out. And one of the last things we wanna do is we always wanna push the sand back into the middle of the bunker so that we don't pull all the sand up on the wall. The other thing Joseph's been doing is smoothing these edges out. Maybe you could go ahead and do that for him. That's the proper way to rake the bunker. Leave it better for the person that's playing behind you, and leave it better than you found it. Okay guys, here's a couple of ball marks. We have a pretty small one here. We have a little bit larger one here. The way to properly do this so that we don't damage the root system in the grass is you want to stick the fork in and basically push to the middle. You're basically micro aerifying that green when you do it. You don't want to tamp it down real hard with your putter afterwards. You just want to take the fork to the outside of the ball mark and push in. Never lifting. We're never lifting the soil up or the grass roots up, because that tears the grass root. We just want to poke it. And then one of the things I like to do is just give it a little bit of air around it. Slightly tap down on it with your foot or with your putter, but not too hard. The harder you do that, the more it's compacting it, the less air that's getting to the soil, helping the roots grow. But that's how you properly do it. And you leave it, again, better for the person behind you. Try to leave it better than it was when you got here. The last thing is the divots in the fairways. You know, I know we're cart path only, so we need to be even more cognizant of trying to make sure that we bring our sand bottles out from the carts when we're playing. Those of us that are having to leave the carts on the cart path. But this is something that's really important. We're gonna fill this divot in, and we wanna make it smooth after we've done it. I see a lot of people putting way too much sand in the divot, and therefore they just leave it like that thinking, oh, the sprinkles are torn on, and then all of a sudden the sand will lay down. But what we wanna do is we wanna make sure that it's exactly level with the existing top of the grass. You don't want to compact it down either, because we want air to get to that so that grass has somewhere to grow and somewhere to kind of manifest itself to each other. But if we've left this thing smooth like this, the next time you play, the grass is going to start coming through there when it starts growing, and you won't have any issues. And also the ball will roll off of that, so you won't have a ball that you're having to play from a divot either. That's the proper way to fix a divot. The only other thing I'd tell you guys is, so here's another one. We're gonna beat a little bit of sand in that. We're gonna kind of basically knock the top of it off. And then we don't wanna fix any of these on the par 3 tee boxes. Those have all been overseeded with ryegrass. Joseph and his team are gonna do that on Mondays, and typically first thing in the morning, probably a couple to 3 times a week, couple days to 3 times a week. So we don't wanna fix those on the par 3s, but we definitely wanna do the ones in the fairways. Just really try and remember to bring your divot sand with you if you're riding on the cart path only, or if you're walking. One of the things I like to do with my group is I like to see how many bottles of this sand that I can go through. My record at this point is 9 bottles in one round. And I'd like to see people try to beat that out here. And then we'll have some nice smooth fairways this spring.
Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Pedigo's little tutorial here. I know it sounds small, but those things accumulatively are a big impact for us, especially in the fairways and on the greens, and even more amplified as we go into this dormancy period where the grass isn't growing as much. So typically in the summer, Bermuda will kind of cover itself up pretty darn well, but as we go into dormancy, it's going to need us to input as much as we can so it can lean on some of our good practices as well. So I wanted to go over a few things greens wise. A lot of the restrictions and kind of the way we've implemented rounds have been geared around our putting greens. You'll notice kind of throughout the week like an odd jockey of the big and small putting green. While yes, the small putting green is smaller, it has less surface, we have still seen some substantial traffic markings around those putting green cups. So you know, I talk about and say weird stuff like let the grass talk to us. You know, that's one of those things where, okay, it might be a random circumstance, but we certainly can see that Tiff Eagle saying, okay, that's a lot of feet on me in this isolated area. So we're kind of keying on those. So we'll jockey those around. We probably won't have the small putting green open by itself anymore, but we'll either close it and have the big putting green open, or we'll open them both at the same time. Same thing with 11 and 15. A lot of that is, I'd say 50-50 is kind of play and mechanical. So we've done some things like started to mow those two at a higher height. We're not rolling those greens and just trying to mediate some of that traffic from golf and not pile on more than we need to from the maintenance side of things. So we are seeing some things, nothing to be concerned, but nothing that would really tell me that we have this massive green light to really kind of let go of the rope and put an influx of rounds out here. So just kind of a 30,000 foot view of the way my brain processes those things is we are seeing things that aren't super appetizing on the greens, maybe in small tidbits, but still seeing some of that stuff. And the weather is turning against us. I know Thor has sent out and Sam have sent out some guidelines. We're going to stick with the cart path only through the winter. Our rounds are going to be 15-minute intervals. Frost delays are going to start kind of messing with that a little bit. So just kind of be cognizant of that as we start to make tee times. But overall, what we're seeing is, I would call very normal. I would tell you that if nobody played out here this winter, we'd still have problems. It's just too young. That's normal, but we're going to try to mitigate as much of that as we can. We're going to minimize what we can. We're going to prep this grass for winter. We're going to get its food storage all the way jam-packed, get the cupboard nice and full for it. We're going to double tarp through the winter. So just be patient with us as we kind of go into the unknown with some new grasses. But we have some good weather here as we head into Thanksgiving. The rest of the golf course is holding up extremely well. Again, we can see some traffic stuff just from our maintenance coming in and out of tight spots like some of these small entry exit points on 18. But all things considered, we're kind of in what I would call a normal spot. Got some question on, you know, this tiger stripe look in the rough. It happens after your first or second freeze. That grass isn't going to freeze perfectly uniform, right? So if it's kind of hanging in a shadow, or as the sun comes up, it's casting a little bit of a shade in that grass because it's not perfectly level. That frost is going to hang around in those shaded areas or those deeper areas that sit a little bit cooler. So they're all their own tiny little micro environment that things go dormant or get hit by frost harder than others. So it's just kind of a patterning you'll see after that first or second frost. So other than that, we're going to focus on trying to give you guys the golf course, stay out of your way. The guys are working a little bit less than typical just to try to make sure we're kind of out of sight, out of mind in the afternoons as much as possible. And I really appreciate your patience. I know it's tough kind of having your golf course back, but not having it all the way back. I totally get that. So be patient. Please reach out if you have any questions. You know, everything that we do is rooted in plant biology and science and kind of history with weather here. So I'd be happy to speak with anybody about any questions regarding kind of what's going on as we head into winter. So thank you.